Hello and welcome back to World 360. What was the genesis of the India Out campaign in Maldives? How did a billionaire's changed stance on plagiarism create a storm in the US? And finally, what is the proposal from Yemen's Houthi rebels to defuse militarization of the Red Sea? We answer this and more in today's episode. So first up, the India Out campaign in Maldives. But before we get into this, let's look at the latest developments in the Maldives. Today, Maldives and India are engaged in a diplomatic row over some senior government officials in Maldives who made disparaging remarks against PM Modi and Indians. Now, these ministers have been suspended. However, it doesn't help that Maldives President Mohammad Muizzu, who has been perceived as anti-India, is currently on a state visit to China. Muizzu, who became president of Maldives just a few months ago, has also made demands for Indian troops to leave his island nation, and more so, PM Modi didn't attend his oath-taking ceremony. Muizzu's election campaign also borrowed from the India Out campaign that was in fact the brainchild of former Maldivian President Abdullah Yameen, who served from 2013 to 2018. The India Out campaign is basically a movement in Maldives that is critical of Indian influence in the island nation. Let's look at how this campaign took form. In 2018, Ibrahim Solih became the president of Maldives and was widely seen as a pro-India politician. At the time, Yameen was the opposition leader in Maldives and heavily criticized Solih on the grounds that he tilted too much towards New Delhi. The main grievance was the presence of Indian military personnel on the island nation, which were initially stationed on humanitarian grounds and for disaster relief operations. But critics of Solih, especially Yameen, accused him of compromising the sovereignty of Maldives by allowing Indian boots on the island. By 2021, the India Out campaign went from a social media hashtag to a full-fledged opposition campaign. Keep in mind that Yameen, when serving as president, didn't really have the best of ties with India and in fact saw the backtracking of a few defense deals. As the India Out campaign gained steam, President Solih eventually banned it in April 2022. Solih eventually signed a decree stating that the campaign is a threat to national security, and this allowed Maldivian authorities to take down campaign banners and take action against opposition parties. Eventually, police took down a 50-foot banner from Yameen's residence. Tensions continue to grow between the ruling party in Maldives and the opposition, especially in December 2022, just a year ahead of the presidential election, when Yameen was sentenced to 11 years in prison on money laundering charges. This essentially killed his presidential bid and opened the way for Muizzu. Muizzu eventually got Yameen's support ahead of the elections and made a pledge to uphold Yameen's key campaign promises, including the India Out campaign. But after the election, Yameen and Muizzu have had a falling out. The India Out campaign has come back into the focus amid the recent diplomatic spat between Maldives and India. More so, with Muizzu in China on a state visit, perceptions of him as anti-India have only solidified. But former government officials, including former Vice President Ahmed Adib, told ThePrint that Maldives should go for a balanced foreign policy, especially as it faces looming debt concerns. For our second topic, we're looking at how an American billionaire and his wife have created a media storm in the US. I'm talking about Bill Ackman, an American hedge fund manager who recently spearheaded a campaign to oust Harvard's former president, Claudine Gay, for plagiarizing academic work. Ackman and others pushed for Gay to resign after condemning her response to anti-Semitism on campus, and Gay eventually stepped down. But now it is reported that Ackman's wife, an MIT professor, plagiarized parts of her own academic work, and this surprising string of events have forced Ackman to change his own stance on plagiarism. After a report by Business Insider claimed Ackman's wife, Neri Oxman, lifted passages in her 2010 doctoral dissertation, she publicly apologized and admitted to that. But she also accused Business Insider for not giving her enough time to respond to their allegations and queries. Ackman, meanwhile, seems to have shifted his stance on plagiarism. After his wife was accused of lifting passages from Wikipedia without attribution, Ackman posted 2 lengthy statements on X, questioning whether using a definition from an online dictionary or encyclopedia without attribution amounts to plagiarism. Let's also not forget that Ackman himself is an alum of Harvard Business School. And more so, this entire debate about plagiarism comes at a time when American university campuses have been criticized for not disciplining students that are calling for genocide against Jews. In fact, Gay and a few others gave legal testimonies on this matter. And this has made many question whether Ammans' crusade against Claudine Gay was in good faith, or was it motivated by political leanings rather than plagiarism itself? But the story has only further unfolded. Reports have emerged that Ammans helped squash investigations into his wife's acceptance of monetary gifts at MIT from American financier and sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Ammans is also now insisting that works of MIT's president, Sally Kornbluth, be put under the scanner of AI, as well as all of the works by MIT's faculty. Recently, Science.org, which is headed by the American Association for the Advancement of Science, published a report on Ammans launching a plagiarism check on MIT's faculty. It points out that Ammans had suspicions that the MIT board prompted the Business Insider articles against his wife. It also notes that some have characterized Ammans' threats as part of the growing weaponization of plagiarism. Now, this story is expected to take more turns, and we will get you the latest going forward. For our final topic, we're looking at a big announcement made by Yemen's Houthi rebels, who, as you know, have been stepping up attacks on commercial shipping in the Red Sea in connection to the Israel-Hamas war. Iran is believed to be backing both Hamas and the Houthis, and the latter's attacks on commercial ships in the Red Sea have largely been seen as a message to Israel. If you recall, just last month, these attacks prompted the US to form a 10-nation coalition to protect commercial shipping in the Red Sea. But now the Houthis, an insurgent group that controls most of the northern part of war-torn Yemen, seem to be offering ships an option to avoid being attacked. In fact, on Sunday, Houthi leader Mohammed Ali al-Houthi proposed diffusing what he called militarisation of the Red Sea and steps to avoid spillover of a regional conflict. In a statement on X, he said to all ministries of transport in various countries, every ship that goes through the Red Sea, Bab el-Mandeb Strait, that connects the Red Sea with the Gulf of Aden or the Arabian Sea should broadcast the words, "We have no relationship with Israel." This is a simple and low-cost solution that will incur no financial expenditures for any business. This measure does not need the militarization of the Red Sea and will not jeopardize international navigation, he wrote. Now let's zoom out for a moment. Since last November, the Houthis have hijacked and launched aerial attacks on commercial and Navy ships in the Red Sea. This is part of their efforts to derail any ships connected to Israel from using critical maritime routes. If you recall, just last year, it was reported that an India-bound cargo ship was hijacked by the Houthis. The vessel, called Galaxy Leader, was transporting vehicles from Turkey to Gujarat when it was captured en route in the Red Sea. This happened shortly after a US Navy warship shot down drones and cruise missiles fired from Yemen, which appear to be heading for Israel. Let's not forget that the Bab el-Mandeb Strait is a key route for global oil shipping routes, which makes this statement from the Houthis all that more consequential. However, Reuters reported on Tuesday that oil tankers continue to move through the Red Sea despite these escalations. And these attacks from the Houthis have driven up shipping costs with high insurance premiums. But reports like these suggest that shipping flows have not been as negatively impacted as expected. Thanks for watching. This is Pia Krishnankutty for ThePrint.